Right.
I did it.
Cool. Good job. Well done. Good
Oh,
job,
it thinks I'm
Stacy.
raising my hand because I'm going like this. I'm not actually raising my hand.
Oh, can you just do that and raise? No, must be a setting.
This. I was doing the
Oh, you
pledge.
did this?
Oh.
Anyway, can you let EJ in? All right, welcome everybody to orientation for Q1 2023 Collab Lab. I'm so excited to meet you all. I don't know why, for some reason I'm like a little extra excited about this cohort. I don't know what it was, the beautiful writing in your applications or something, but yeah, super excited to work with you over the next couple of months. We have a mix of new Collabies developers. We have mentors and code of conduct people here. So and we have people from all over North America. So we're going to do just a quick round of introductions. So Stacy, if you can put this in the chat, but we're say your name. So it's important to I feel it's important to pronounce people's names correctly. So we want to hear you say it for the first time. So say your name, say where you are physically, geographically, right? So then I'll go first and kind of demonstrate all this, and then say what your role is here, I guess, on this call. So it's maybe a way to say it. Oh, and your pronouns, if you want to share your pronouns, please do. And I'll go first. So I'm Andrew, he, him pronouns. I am in Portland, Oregon, and I am the founder of Collab Lab. So I don't know what my title is really. Stacy has the proper title. I'll let her go next.
Oh no. I'm Stacy, she, her, hers. I'm located in Sacramento. A co-founder alongside Andrew.
What else?
Executive director of the board.
Yeah.
And I'm a code of conduct responder this time for Team 51. Real quick before we get into the rest, I should have mentioned this at first, but when you all confirmed your participation in the Collab Lab, you checked the box that you have read and agreed to the code of conduct. The code of conduct is in place so that we can make sure we all have a safe, healthy space to learn and grow and collaborate together. So if you don't remember it, just revisit it. It's on the website. But each of your teams will have a code of conduct responder that's there to make sure you're having an amazing time. And they'll be checking in with you throughout your time at the Collab Lab. But anyway, I'm for 51, so hi. And we'll just popcorn it to any other person. I'm sorry if I pronounce anybody's names wrong, but I'll pass it to Nisha.
Hi, yeah, so you pronounced my name correctly. It is Nisha, and I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I'm a Collabie here. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Who do you want to popcorn
it? I will popcorn it to Shelly.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shelly McCarty, she, her. I am a former Collabie, TCL 36, the best one. There's another one of us here. Hey, DJ. And now I wear a lot of hats. So my role here today is I'm going to tell you about Career Lab at the end of this orientation, because that's become my baby, but I do a lot of different things, too many to explain or describe. I'm going to popcorn to, let's see, let's pick favorites. IU, I haven't talked to you in so long. You go next.
Hi everyone, I'm Ayu, she, her, and I'm based in the Netherlands. For this cohort, I'm being a code of conduct responder for TCL 52, and I was also a Collabie at TCL 35. So nice to see you all. And I will popcorn it to Amanda.
Hi, my name is Amanda Denoto, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm located in New York City, and I'm one of the collaborators this time around. And I'm going to popcorn it to Alejandro.
Oh, I can't hear you for some reason. It shows that you're unmuted, so I'm not sure. We'll skip and we'll come right back to Alejandro. I'll pass it to Ashel.
Yes. Can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Hi everyone, my name is Ashel, she, her, hers, and I'm a recent bootcamp graduate, and I'm also a Collabie. So nice to meet everyone. And I'm gonna go ahead and popcorn that to Elizabeth.
Hey everyone, I'm Elizabeth Hammis. I'm in Seattle, Washington. Pronouns she, her, and I'm a new Collabie in 52. I will popcorn it to Nicole.
Hi everyone, I'm Nicole, she, her, hers. I'm in Vancouver by way of Toronto. Hi Nisha, I was just there. And I'm a new Collabie in 52.
Love that. I'm going to popcorn it to Alejandro to see if Mike is working yet. It's okay if not.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So, hi everyone. My name is Alejandro Rojas. I am from Los Angeles, California. I'm brand new here, so hi everyone.
Welcome.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna popcorn it off to let's see, DJ.
Hey, I'm DJ Taylor, also in Los Angeles, California. And I was a Collabie, also with Shelly in TCL 36. And this is my first time mentoring, and I'll be with TCL 54. Super excited. Let's go to Amy.
My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a front-end developer, and I have been working and doing freelance stuff for about 6 months with a lot of React projects to help people. So I heard about the Collab Lab from some people who'd done it, and they really recommended it. So here I am. Love that. I'll popcorn to Xavier.
Hi, my name is Xavier. My pronouns are he, him. I'm based in Georgia, near Atlanta, and I am a brand new mentor for Team 53. I'll popcorn it to, who hasn't gone? I'm sorry, Volha, is that how you pronounce your name?
Yes, it is. Hi, my name is Volha. I am based in Bay Area, California. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am also a former Collabie. I used to be at TCL 11, so oldie but goodie here. And I'm going to be mentoring Team 54 this time around. Happy to be here.
Doesn't seem like Team 11. Like it doesn't seem like it was that long ago that you were on. Anyway,
Wow. Ages ago.
who's next?
Cornet to Nina. Have you gone yet? Nina.
Hi, I'm Nina Fuentes, and I am based off of Palm Coast, Florida. And let's see, I am she, he, she, her, hers. I haven't really had to share my pronouns before. So. And let's see. Oh, I'm a Collabie in Team 53. So yes. I'll pass you to Jenna.
Hi, my name is Jenna. I am based out of Orange County in Southern California. I will be a Collabie on Team 53. And I'd like to popcorn to Megan Sullivan.
Hello, that's me. I'm Megan Sullivan. My pronouns are she, her. I am based in the Bay Area, and I am one of the mentors for TCL 53. Okay, who hasn't gone? EJ.
I knew you were going to say me. I just knew in my spirit it was going to be me. Hi, I'm EJ. I am a mentor for TCL 52. I have been around the block a few times. Have I been here since 2019? Is that right, Andrew? I always forget how long I've been here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for a while.
Not mentoring the whole time, but I've been hanging out, I've been lurking, I've been causing trouble, and I'm so excited to be with this group this quarter. And I am in the LA area-ish. Don't worry about it. For popcorn, who hasn't gone? Tim, have you gone? Okay, cool. Let's go to Tim.
Hi everyone, Tim Taylor. I'm also based in Los Angeles, and I am also a mentor for Team 52. And I was previously a Collabie in Team 42. So yeah, excited to have a new experience. Let's pass it to Alex.
You can do it.
No pressure.
I'm sorry, I'm on my phone.
Yeah, sorry.
But hi everyone. My name is Alex, she, her, hers. I am based in Metro Detroit, and I do have a wedding to get to for a friend soon, so I might have to cut it short. But I wanted to meet you all first.
No worries, no worries. It's being recorded, so if you want to come back to it.
Oh, yes. And
Yeah.
then I will popcorn to Tina. Oh, I'm in TCL 54, by the way.
Hi, I'm Tina, she, her, hers. I'm based in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm a Collabie in TCL 52. I'll popcorn it to Grace.
Hi everyone, I'm Grace. I'm a new mentor for TCL 51, and I'm super excited to be here, and I'm based in Gainesville, Florida. I'll popcorn it over to Devin.
Hi everyone, my name is Devin. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm based in Trinidad and Tobago. Along with Grace, I'll be mentoring for TCL 51. And it's nice to see you all live as opposed to all the YouTube videos I've been watching with you all. So nice to meet everyone. And I'll pass it over to Jason.
Hi, I'm Jason. I'm pronouns are he, him. I'm based out of Vancouver. I'm a brand new mentor, so I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm pretty excited to be here. I'm gonna popcorn to, I think Matthew hasn't gone, Matthew Foley.
Figure out on mute. Hey everybody, I'm Matt, based in North Carolina. Pronouns are he, him, his. And I'm gonna be mentoring for TCL 54. I'm gonna be popcorning it to Sarah.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah. I use she, her pronouns. I am based in Denver, finishing up a boot camp, and so I am a new Collabie in TCL 54. And I have not been keeping great track of who's gone. So who can I popcorn it to?
We'll popcorn it to Jeff.
Popcorn to Jeff.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeffrey. My pronouns are he, him. I'm living in Los Angeles, and I'm a collaborator for TCL 53. I'm also not too sure who hasn't gone yet.
We'll popcorn to Aubrey.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's tough when you get down to the last.
Yeah. Hey everybody, I'm Aubrey. Pronouns are she, her. I'm in Tucson, Arizona, and I'm a Collabie in group 51.
Randall.
Hi everyone, I'm Randall. I'm based in Southern California in LA, and I owe huge thanks to Shelly and to Shelly's podcast for reminding me to apply to this. And I will say, oh, pronouns are he and him, sorry. And I think the last person was Louis.
I think that's right.
Hello, my name's Louis. I live in Ashfield, Massachusetts. I recent boot camp graduate and Collabie in TCL 52. Is that everybody?
Think, has anybody not gone?
So, Nicole, did you put your hand up? I thought didn't you go? All right.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll say that that's it. I'm sorry if anybody did get missed. I don't think that happened, but sorry.
Yeah, I love the introductions because, like Jason just said in the chat, like people from all over North America. It's really fun when we have a Europe Africa team and a Latin America team, and people are in Nigeria and Kenya. I mean, we have someone from the Netherlands here, IU, and anyway, it's yeah, this is one of my favorite moments of each cohort. It's just to get to meet all of you and get to know you just a little bit. So we're going to talk a little bit about how what we're trying to accomplish here, and then how the program is going to work. Help you get oriented to the coming couple of months. Stacy, do you want to share your screen, or I have it up if you want me to
You
do
have it
that?
up. I don't have it up. I was just racing to get it up right now.
Okay. Let's see. All right. The Zoom dance, and adjust windows and everything. All right. chat. Don't miss anything. Don't want to miss anything. Okay, cool. All right. So, what is the Collab Lab? Well, it's too late because we're already here. Just kidding. So, Collab Lab is a program that we've come up with to help early career engineers like yourself gain experience working collaboratively on software teams, doing a remote sort of real world-ish project with other early career developers and under the guidance of professionals in the field. So the goal of the project, you'll be building a smart shopping list. And it's smart because it learns your shopping habits over time. So you make a purchase, you make the next purchase. Now there's an interval between those two. It starts to learn when you're likely to need that thing again. It puts those things at the top of the list. So kind of a fun little app. And every team builds the same thing. So I get this question a lot, like, well, what are the projects that you work on? It's like, well, we all work on the same project. And there's a reason for that, which is, which we'll get to later. I'm kind of skipping everything. Done this too many times. We want you to only have to put in about 5 hours a week. So we do the same project every time so that we can scope each ticket that you're going to be working against really tightly so that you can finish it in that time frame. So everybody builds the same app from the same set of instructions. Every team brings their own personality to it though, and it's really fun to see at the end how different they can be. After you've kind of put your design eye on it. So we really encourage you to, if you haven't already, to watch this video. It's kind of a video demo of TCL 6, that's going way back, but of their app. It's basically, it's pretty much the same app as we were building back then. But it's kind of nice to be able to see sort of what the end product is going to be. So kind of you have a vision of what you're working towards. Although your mentors will tell you this kind of over and over again, that you should really work strictly against sort of the ticket that you're assigned each week. So don't try to do more than what's in there. But knowing where you're going sometimes can be helpful for some of the little decisions you have to make along the way. So who are you working with? So when you join here, you're joining this. You're not just kind of on a project team working for a few weeks. You're joining really a community of some of the loveliest people you'll ever meet. People that are professionals in web development, people that are all here to give their time to help you break into tech. So and as you can see, we have a bunch of people who went through the program and then came back, and they're kind of giving back in the form of mentoring or kind of helping out in other ways. So we really, you're not just here to kind of learn some skills and then you're on your way. You're part of us. Like you have us to draw on as you are trying to get that first job, or you get, we've had people who get into their first job and they get stuck on something and they come back and they ask questions. People help them kind of get unstuck, or there's some kind of thing going on at work, or whatever. So, feel free to lean on this community now that you're here. Every quarter we run a new cohort. So, this is Q1 2023. We'll run 3 more this year. And, I mentioned that we're only doing North America this time, but we're often in Europe and Africa, and sometimes in Latin America too. So the teams that make up the cohort they all consist of 4 developers. So you probably in your team channels kind of caught on that there's 4 of you on each team. There are 3 mentors that are assigned to your team and a code of conduct responder. But the 4 of you will be collaborating to complete the app on your own with the mentor's support. So the reason that we are doing this at all, we're all no one here is getting paid to be here and do this. We know that coding is just one aspect of being a professional software developer. So knowing how to collaborate with a team, how software teams work, it's a huge advantage when you go to interviews. So if you've only been studying on your own, you may have no idea sort of how a team of software developers gets things done. How do they interact with a product manager? How do they kind of track the work? How do they know what to do and in what sequence and all these kinds of things? And so this program gives you a little bit of experience doing all those things. People who've gone through it have said that it's been really helpful for them when they get to an interview and a hiring manager will just kind of mention something that to them is second nature, but you know, to the hiring manager is second nature, but they, you know, they wouldn't have had a way to talk about it without having gone through the program. So one of the things that we do, we think is super important. We put a big emphasis on pair programming. So each week you will spend, you know, 2, 3, maybe 4 hours with the person that you're paired up with for that week, working on your ticket. So we really think this is where some of the greatest learning comes through the program. So you know, pair programming kind of, it has a weirdly controversial sort of reputation in software engineering, I think, because some people just don't like to do it, but we think it's a great way for you to both teach and learn from the other person, you know, get like different perspectives, but it also, you know, as my experience as an engineering manager is that the work is better and gets done faster when 2 people are working on it instead of one person on their own. So anyway, there's no one right way to pair program. What we encourage you to do is to just try it out. You know, you're gonna there'll be a learning module a couple of weeks into the program. Once you've paired with the other 3 people on your team, after that we'll do a session on pair programming, but you'll have a little bit of context. You'll have done it a couple of times. I just would encourage you to just kind of get in there and see what works for you, and then you know, then you'll have some experience to bring to that learning module. I guess that's it. Stacy, I'll pass it off to you. I'm sure I'll think of other things to say later.
Excellent. If anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, drop them in the chat. Andrew will be in there responding to those, and we can address them afterwards too. And if you don't mind, I'm going to share my screen for this part so I can also share some other tabs. I got, got myself together while you were presenting.
Okay, cool. Good job.
Oh, thank you.
Proud of you.
Okay, let me share this part of my screen. We're going to continue in the orientation doc. If you're not already there, which I think you probably are, this is the one I'm looking at. It's 54s, but each of your repos, each of your team's projects has their own orientation. Okay, continuing on to how does it all work? So the project that you just saw, that Smart Shopping List app, is organized into a list of user stories. And those are like, as a user, I want to be able to add items to a shopping list. Each of these tickets, user stories, has acceptance criteria, and that helps us understand if the thing you were assigned is done or not. So let's take a look. You can find these stories on your team's project board. Each of you, 51, 2, 3, and 4, have your own list of these that you'll be working through. So to get to that, for example, I'm in 54's repo right now. I'm going to click Projects. And inside Projects, I see TCL54 Smart Shopping List. When I go in here, these are all the user stories that you'll be working through. And each of these makes up a piece of the app. So at the end of all these user stories, you'll have a fully functioning app. But if we take a look at this one, number 1, as a user, I want to read the names of all the items in my list. There's a lot of information here that's going to be really helpful and some acceptance criteria. Andrew mentioned this before, but as you're working through these, when you and your partner are assigned a ticket, stick as closely as possible to exactly what it's asking. We all have a tendency to kind of do a little more or fix another little thing while we're working on another thing, but that's called scope creep, and it can actually be really bad in software engineering. So kind of a challenge for you in this project is to really focus on exactly what this piece of work is asking for and do no more than that. Again, to stay within that 5-hour time commitment that we expect, and also to not work ahead, because if you go and start implementing design now, for example, your last couple of weeks of the program are gonna, like, you're not gonna have much to do because you already did it. So don't do more than you need to do. Stay very finely scoped. Okay, so each week, 2 of these tickets will go into progress. We'll assign them to a pair of you. So say me and Andrew are working on one, we'd assign it to us and we would move it to in progress. Once we get all of our code in place, we would move it to peer review. That's when the other collabs on our team, the other pair, will look at it. After they sign off on it, the mentors will give the final say, and then we'll move it to done and start back over at the beginning of the next week with new tickets. So this is how it kind of looks in practice. You'll get much more familiar with this over the coming weeks. Okay, back to the orientation. Okay, a task or a story, which I just showed you, is done when the following are true. All of those acceptance criteria have been met. If it's a UI feature, it's been reviewed for accessibility. And the code has been approved by the other pair on your team and your mentors, or the other pair on your team. And then the product owner, which we're referring to here, is one of your mentors. They'll be the final approval on that. Once it's merged into production, the thing is done. Good job. Okay, as we mentioned, each week, the four of you, the four engineers, will split into pairs of two, and each will be responsible for one story. By the end of 8 weeks, you'll have a great app. Good job. Okay, coordination and communication. It is super duper helpful to document your work. This is going to be something that's going to be carried throughout your entire career with you. Get good at documentation and communication right now, because it's going to be a big leg up for you. One of the best things that you can do is when you start your week, you and your partner just got assigned your new ticket, go ahead and create a draft PR for that work, because that allows you a place where you can have a conversation right alongside the code about what's happening. You can say, like, on this specific line, I have this specific question, and it just ties it really nicely to the work that's in progress. As soon as you get that draft PR up, share it in Slack so that everybody can see and follow along with your work too. Okay, in Slack, most of our communication will happen in Slack. The other will happen in Zoom or on video. So if you're not super familiar with Slack, no worries. This is your chance to learn. It's more than likely going to be a tool that you'll be using all throughout your career until the next greatest thing comes along. Okay, tip number 1, threads, 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 threads. Threads, threads, threads. They're very important. They can be hard to remember to use at first if you're just getting used to it, but I promise you, they're going to make your channel so much cleaner and tidier, and it's going to help you find the answers to questions faster and keep your notifications to a minimum. So lean on threads. Number 2, notifications. Tag people when you need them. Slack can get really chaotic and busy and distracting, and so you'll start to kind of like tune things out that you haven't been directly tagged into. So be sure if you need somebody, you directly tag them. So Stacy, specifically tag me. Can you review this PR? Or if you need to get a hold of your fellow collabs, your team, you'll have a group for that too. It's been pinned in all of your channels, so you know it. And also your mentors will have one too. So again, each week, the other pair needs to review your work and your mentors need to review your work. This is the perfect time to use those group tags to tag them in and get their attention. And tip number 3, be yourself, have some fun. These aren't like emails of the old days that are all business. This is a place where you get to really like shine and have your personality show through. So use GIFs, use emojis, have fun in there, build relationships and build a good team camaraderie. If you want to disable animations, you can, and there's help in the Slack Help Center here if you need that for motion sensitivity. Okay, the development process. Okay. Work will be done on feature branches in Git. If this isn't something that you've worked with before, it's something you'll be learning about in your first weekly sync, so no worries. But it's just a nice way to kind of separate the work that you're doing before it goes into the main piece of code. So the way that it'll work is you and your partner, as soon as you get your ticket, you'll spin up your own branch. And it'll be initials of person 1, dash initials of person 2, and then a short description of what you're working on. So for example, if Stacy and Alejandro are working on connecting to Firestore, it would be STAN connect Firestore. Okay, here are some quick commands for you to do that. If you forget, you need to go back and refresh yourself. But high level, the development process will go like this. You and your partner are going to do the work, pair up, do the work, create a pull request. You'll notify the other team in Slack that they need to come review your code with that group, tag in Slack so that they know. You'll incorporate any feedback that they give you after they review your code. Then you'll request the mentors to review your code for your team because they'll be the final approval. And once they approve it, you've had your pair, the other pair review it, you've had the mentors review it, you'll hit merge and it'll get into main. Check your work on the production site to make sure everything's working as expected, and then celebrate. You've done the thing. Great job. Okay, are there any questions? Looks good.
Yeah, well, there are a couple things we'll come back to.
Okay, cool. All right, when does everything happen? This project should take 40 hours total over these 8 weeks. That breaks down into roughly 5 hours per week. And at least 2 to 3 of those hours will be spent pair programming with your partner. 1 hour will be for your weekly meeting that you have each weekend. And the rest of your time will be, you know, digging into the code, researching, looking at the other team's code, and just organizing your work. That's like a high level breakdown. It might vary a bit depending on what your challenge is that week. Okay, here's the weekly cadence. Again, this could vary based on your team. What I'm going to demo here and talk through is as if your weekly sync is on Sundays. It could be on Saturday. That's okay. Just be flexible about it. Okay. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you'll have just gotten your new ticket on the weekend. Those are the days that you have to be coding. Front load the coding because the review process is going to take a lot longer than you would imagine. So get your pair programming calendar invites sent to your partner for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Try and have all your code in place by Wednesday. Okay. About Thursday, you'll be pinging the other pair saying, hey, other pair, can you review our PR? It's ready for you. That'll give you Friday to incorporate any feedback that they might have. And then Friday, Saturday, mentors can be reviewing so that you're ready on Sunday to demo the new work that you did in production. Again, I can't advise enough to front load the coding work. Here's a nice graphic to go along with that. Again, beginning of the week, you're coding. Thursday, Friday, people are reviewing your work. By Sunday, it should be in production.
I like the graphic because it kind of shows you the proportion of the different things, and then that there are several steps to get through to actually get your work into production. So just to yet again reinforce Stacey's point of getting the work done in the first couple of days so that you have time to make adjustments if you get feedback on your code.
Yeah, it's also really important too, because you'll have office hours with your mentors, usually midweek. And so if you've already done a lot of the coding up front, you'll have the questions you need to have answered by that time. But if you wait till Wednesday to start doing your coding, the office hours has come and gone. It's going to be feel like a lot of pressure. It's just not going to feel good. So try and get it done early. Okay. Each week, you'll have a weekly sync. Yours should be kicking off this weekend at whatever time y'all have decided. But every week, this will be 1 hour, and it will follow a similar pattern each time. And there's 2 kind of different patterns. Every single time, every single week, you'll have a demos and discussion that'll take about 50 minutes. The call will always start with each pair demoing their work. Demos are a really important part of working as a software developer. So you want to get really good at it. Basically what you'll do, and it says here, you'll do a concise, first you'll demo what your feature does in production. So you'll screen share, you'll say, we built this piece of the list. Now let's take a look at the code. And then you can walk through the code, talk about any challenges you faced, any decisions that you made. And I want to point out too that the weekly syncs will be recorded, and these demos can be a really great piece for any of your personal sites or portfolios to demonstrate to future employers how well you can talk about the work that you do and demo your features. So be prepared for those. Throughout the week, be working with your partner to understand who's going to demo which pieces and what that might look like, so that come your weekly sync, you have a really beautiful, concise demo that will be recorded for you. Okay. Learning modules and retrospectives alternate. So the first week you'll have a learning module. It's about 15, 20, 30 minutes, depending. And these are going to be presentations by mentors on topics that are going to resonate with what you're learning at the time. So Andrew mentioned a pair programming one. There's one on code reviewing, communication for developers, etc. But it's just your time to learn from your mentors and ask questions and kind of refine your skills a bit. On weeks that there's not a learning module, we will have a retrospective. This is a really common practice in software development using agile methodologies. And basically what a retro is a chance for you to get together with your team and think through what went well, what could be improved from the last 2 weeks at this point of work. So be thinking throughout your time at Collab Lab, what made you feel really good? What helped the team move forward really well? What things kind of stopped you? What things were frustrating? And be open and transparent with your team in these retrospectives and talk about those, because the only way we can grow is if we're really transparent and honest with each other about what's working and what's not. So that can be a really intimidating thing to do. It's hard to be vulnerable and transparent. And I'm hoping that for all of you, Collab Lab can be a really safe space to practice that first before you go out into a team of engineers in your first engineering role to do it. So practice, practice, practice. Okay, and then at the end of every weekly sync, you'll spend about 15 minutes planning. And that's where you'll pop into your project. You'll see which tickets are next. You'll assign them to the pairs and move them in progress. This is also your chance in these planning sessions, in the 15 minutes of planning at the end of your weekly sync, to really read through these. And why are these checked? Oops. To really read through these and ask any questions that you might have to clarify anything. So be really intentional reading through these in your weekly sync, because you have your mentors right there with you, and you can maybe answer some of the preliminary questions before you even get off the call that might get you cut.
Yeah, I have a recommendation for that too, because you won't know, like some of the questions you won't kind of know what to ask right off the bat, but this is a really good chance to at least clarify what is expected, like what's the behavior that you're aiming towards here. So, if it's, you click on an item in the list and it updates something, just kind of understanding exactly what's, what that data looks like, what type of calls it's supposed to be making. Ask those kinds of questions. You may not, the actual solution, it may be hard to ask questions about that when you first start scanning the issue, but at least make sure you understand the AC.
Yeah, I love that. Excellent suggestion. Whew. Okay, here we are at the recap. Let's recap, because we probably missed something and that probably went by really fast and you probably still have lots of unknowns. So at the Collab Lab, you're getting experience working on a team of developers with mentors who are working in the industry. And this is going to really help you when you go out into job hunt, because you're going to have experiences to talk about working on a team of developers. It's going to be 8 weeks working together. You're going to be on a team of 4 developers and 3 mentors. Each week, the 4 of you developers will split into pairs of 2 and tackle a single issue from your project board. And we want you to spend about 5 hours per week doing Collab Lab work in total. At the end of each week, you will have a weekly sync. That's where you'll do the learning modules, you'll demo your work, you'll have retrospectives, and you'll plan for the next week. I want to go up 1 bullet to the 5 hours a week. Andrew mentioned this already, but I really want to drive it home. It's really important to us at the Collab Lab that this project stays within 5 hours a week for each of you. We think that a big barrier for folks getting into tech are that programs like this often require a lot of time and energy, of which, if you're working full time or you have a family or you just have other responsibilities, can be a big hindrance. So if you feel like you're ever going outside of the 5 hours or you're getting close, please be very open and transparent with your mentors so we can either work on rescoping the program or the issues you're working on, or working with you on time management as an engineer skills. But be loud about it. We want this to be 5 hours for you. We don't want you to working endlessly around the clock doing it. Okay, what is next? You're kicking off this weekend, so you'll have a meeting today or tomorrow. That will be your first weekly sync. Your mentor, one of your mentors, will be presenting a learning module on Git, so you can jump in and really get started with the collaboration aspect of this program. and we'll go from there. We'll build from here. Be transparent in Slack. If you have questions, there are no silly questions. Engineering is hard. Collaborating is hard. So just be really loud about it. We're all in this together and happy to answer any questions you have. Okay, let's do this.
Nice job, Stacy. Well done. That was a lot of information. So I have a couple of questions written down that we can answer, but I just also wanted to kind of just maybe try to, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed by all these things you're supposed to remember, right? Like it's a little bit like learning a board game. You know that feeling when you're reading the rules, you're just like, I don't really get this, but then you start playing it, like it starts to come together. You're like, oh, okay, now I understand how the game works, right? It's going to feel the same way for a lot of you. Starting the program, there's going to be a lot of things to keep track of and things, but after a week or two, after a couple of weeks, it's all gonna start to make sense. Like you're kind of doing the same routine each week. You'll be pairing with different people and focusing on different skills that you're building, but the kind of the structure of the program is going to stay the same each week. So you'll very quickly kind of get acclimated to it. So I encourage you all just to kind of come in with a growth mindset. If you're not familiar with that concept, it just means that you believe that you are able to learn and grow. And there are, believe it or not, people that believe that that's not the case for them. And they feel a lot of shame if they don't know something. Here, we want you to not feel any shame if you don't know something. Like, please ask questions. Please be open. Love that we're getting questions in the chat, that kind of thing. You're here to learn. This is a safe chance to make some mistakes. A lot of teams, they break production in the sense that they use up all their database API quota at some point. That happens like every single cohort, somebody does this. So like those kinds of things happen, and it's good to get those experiences now. It's almost good to have those experiences when you go into an interview and they could say, what's something that happened that didn't go well, and you're like, oh, there was that time that I used up the API quota for our database, and and how did you recover from it, and what did you learn, and that kind of thing. So make mistakes, be open, try to learn as much as you can over the next day. It's going to go really fast. 8 weeks is not that long, not that much time. So it'll be over before you know it. So just try to soak it up. And we do have a couple of, I want to see that tweet. What's the tweet say? Oh yeah, that's true. So we had a couple of questions. One was, what does accessibility mean? I don't know, EJ, I put you on the spot, but I can answer it. But
EJ loves being put on the spot. Put EJ on the spot.
Don't tell them about me like that, Stacy. They don't know me yet. I think Andrew can answer this question just fine. But accessibility is the practice of making sure that everyone can use your software, regardless of how they use a computer, whether they are blind, whether they don't have hands, whether they do or don't use a mouse, those kinds of things. And we'll learn gradually about that as we go. And you can always ask your mentors questions, or me if you want. I am here. You can just DM me, it's fine. But you'll learn as we go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We have a learning module on it at the end, but it is, it's part of the acceptance criteria. So, if you're just kind of, if you're wondering, what would make it more accessible, you can just ask your mentors, and they'll either know, or they might not know, and they might learn something by asking, some other people around the community about it.
Accessibility is something that in a lot of boot camps and stuff, you don't see a lot of energy paid to. And it's kind of like, we're on a mission here at Collab Lab to make the world a better place. And we think a really good way we can do that is by raising engineers to care about accessibility first. And so that's why we put such a big emphasis on this. Because once you kind of start understanding accessibility, you'll realize how wildly inaccessible many softwares can be. And so we think that if we can instill this passion for making sure everybody can use your tools, and now the world will be a better place. So pay attention to it.
And Michelle asked about whether we recommend that you all wireframe your app. So wireframing, if you're not familiar with it, is it's kind of low fidelity designs, sort of boxes and text and things, no color and that kind of thing. But it's just a way of kind of representing what the layout of the page should be. And so we actually have.
I'm getting ready to screen sharing the wrong screen. Here you go.
Okay, I was gonna say. So that was a cool those photos you had. Anyway, we have some wireframes in the project. So these are, they're not, I don't think we went through the exercise of actually making these specific to each week. They're sort of more the end state. So you have to do a little bit of imagining of taking things out of the wireframe for whatever you're working on that week, but they are there. If it's helpful to you to just do a wireframe of the thing you are building, go for it, whatever helps you. It's not strictly a requirement. And you'll see like a lot of the issues are, they're relatively tightly scoped. So there are some where you have to lay out some things. We spend 2 full weeks at the end working on sort of design considerations. So one thing we do encourage you to do is not spend too much time at the beginning on colors and fonts and layout and all that kind of stuff, because there will be time for that towards the end. So
yeah,
does
so
that answer your question?
for example, in week 1, all that the acceptance criteria says is that basically the names are the list renders the name of each item. But if you look in this, you can see, well, there's also a title and there's a filter and like some details and delete. But what you have to really think there is, what of this wireframe is the acceptance criteria asking me for? And it's just asking for the names. So you don't even need the checkbox. So that's what Andrew meant by you kind of have to, imagine removing things from the wireframe, because this is more of an end state wireframe. Good question.
Yeah, great questions. That's all I had that I noticed in the chat. But are there other questions you have? And how are you all feeling about it? Nicole, this is your time to shine. Are you nervous, excited, both? Like how are people feeling at this point? I said that about Nicole because before the call really got rolling, I asked her how she was feeling. She said she was nervous. So you could set an example. It's gonna be really fun. It's totally natural to feel a little nervous. It's like a little bit like starting a job, right? So or first day at school, that kind of thing, right? So you'll quickly get to know your team, especially, and I'm sure you'll have a great experience over the next 8 weeks.
Love it. Okay, before you all go, there's one other piece of the Collab Lab that I will have Shelley present to you now.
Hi, everyone. I'll give you a tiny brief overview because you just soaked up so much information. The goal of this for everyone, I hope, our goal for you is that you get the job, right? And you get the job that you want and you feel good getting it. Trying to get a job in tech, if you're new to tech, is just a different animal, and it's stressful and it's scary. What you're going to do over the next 8 weeks, though, is going to prep you so well. I can't even tell you how many experiences you have during this process that will go into an interview. So boot camp doesn't give you, you guys did homework assignments. You did group homework assignments. It's not the same thing. This is going to be more real. You'll have a lot to talk about. So what comes after is totally optional, depending on how you feel. What you need is a 2-week program that we call Career Lab. And basically the idea is to get you the interview and get you to be successful in the interview. So we'll help you with your LinkedIn, the tech interview, behavioral interviews, all sorts of stuff. So that's my baby. And the reason why I adopted this baby is it changed everything. Collab Lab changed everything, but those 2 weeks are how I changed 6 months of hurting through painful, awful interview experiences to, I got this, and I got the job that I wanted with the people that I wanted, and 100%. So I'm completely convinced and committed to this process. So at the end of your 8 weeks, don't worry about it now. We will be in touch. But if you want to join me and your other collabbies and some collabbies from other cohorts that couldn't do it, that's what we're going to do in March, I guess. Yeah, March.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's great to meet everyone. I'm so excited for you. This got me all pumped all over again. I want to go and build the shopping list again. DJ, we should do it.
Last time we had somebody from TCL3 come back and do Career Lab. So, if you don't have time right now, but you later on want to build, kind of get some practice interviewing or something, you're welcome at any time to come back and do Career Lab too.
Yeah. Or like we had last time a mentor Grace was like, I want some practice interviewing. So it's like, yeah, join us in Career Lab. It's great. And for all of y'all, it's like a really great time to meet even more mentors and add more people to your network, because the volunteers for Career Lab are different generally than the ones that you have through your program. So you just meet more people. Practice interviewing is the best, because I can't tell you how many times I've totally bombed an interview because I didn't even think I needed to practice saying the words first and then embarrassed myself. So help yourself by doing some practice.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Well, we'll talk
right.
more about that as it goes. On that same note, do recognize that, I don't know if Andrew, if you said this or not, but Collab Lab is not school. This is actual real life project work. So think of it that way. Think that like, I'm working on a team of engineers to build a project. This isn't boot camp, this isn't school. Because when you start thinking about it like that, it's going to really help you when you do go into those interviews and they're like, tell me about a time you had a different opinion than a colleague and how did you solve it? You can think, oh yeah, I had a colleague, I worked on a team of engineers. So think of this more like a job, but low pressure.
Yeah, and I like that framing too, because it you're in school, you're being graded, you're being evaluated, right? Like, did you pass or fail, to get the credential or whatever. Here, you're just trying to get experience, and you're working on a team, you're working alongside other people who, like, they need you to pull your weight so you all can do the thing together. And it's much more like being in a job setting. So treat it like that. Show up as a professional, as you want to be seen in your first job, and just practice that. Even if it's not something you're super used to or comfortable with, see how it feels to kind of do it that way.
Love that. Okay, that's it. Again, the next thing for you is going to be your weekly syncs. If you haven't already pulled down your team's project, do that, add your name to the contributors file. All the instructions are in the README. And then you'll be ready to pair up with your first collabie at the end of this weekend and get rolling. We're here for you if you need anything.
So excited to meet you, or so happy to have met you all, and I'm excited for the next 8 weeks for you. You'll see me a couple times over the course of the next 8 weeks. I'll come in week 3 or 4 and watch a demo, and then I'll show up to all the final demos and just to see what you did, see how it turned out. So enjoy. If you have any questions at any point, Stacy and I are here for you. Your code of conduct responder, your mentors. So let us know how we can help.
All right. Take care, everybody. We'll upload this recording if you need it. Bye, fans. Good luck. See you around.
Bye.
Bye.